Alright, so as you can see, yes, I decided to move the Nelson bench back into the original spot that it was at, even though I just replaced it with that other bench in the last video. I used that other one for a few days, and even though I did really like how it was smaller and sort of made the living room feel a lot bigger, there were also a few things that were definitely bothering me. The first one being that the feet of that table, since they're very small, were sort of digging into the carpet a lot, which was not that great. And someone left a comment on the last video saying that benches like that are definitely better for hardwood floors because of the style of the feet. And then the second thing also is the actual shade of wood. Even though that was also supposed to be oak wood, I think the finish on it is a little bit more sort of dull and gray toned compared to a lot of the other sort of wood furniture that I have in my apartment. And over the days, it started to bother me a little bit too much. So I moved this one back here for now. But obviously now I have that bench and I have to do something with it. And I still really love the design. So I want to find a way to incorporate it in my home. And I think I found an idea that will work pretty well. Let me show you. So right now in front of this big window, obviously I have the Togo and then I have my sister's painting as well as a few other little things. I think I want to put the bench sort of right here in front of this window so that you can kind of soak in the sunlight and then just make use of this space over here because it's actually not a small space at all. It's pretty large. And even though I do love my sister's painting here, I feel like I can find a better place for it that's not just sitting on the floor. I'm going to try that out and see how it looks. Okay, so this is what I came up with for now. I put the bench right here in front of the window, and then I put a little magazine rack because it fits very nicely under it. And then I also put another lamp here, which I think will look really good because the light will sort of diffuse through these slats and kind of make cool shadows in the wall. The only thing I'm not really sure about is this whole situation right here. I decided to move these stackable stools right next to it, but I feel like it's making it look a little bit cramped with the Togo. And then I put this lamp on top of the bench. I do really like how it overall came together though. It makes for a great little spot to sort of, I don't know, I guess it's always nice to have extra seating if I have more friends over, or I guess even just like enjoying my morning coffee here and just soaking in the sun rays a little bit, watching some birds with my cat. Definitely let me know what you guys think if you would switch anything up, but I think for now I'm pretty happy with it. I also decided to move this little side table, which if you remember used to be right there next to the Togo or sort of where those benches are, to under the coffee table instead because I think it fits really nicely under it. Now if I need any extra storage space, I can just pull this out and sort of place stuff on top of here, and then when I don't need it I can just like push it back in. So yeah, also another little update. Alexa's dreaming now, drifting off my couch. We walked down street she's walked 1,000 times. Really don't make me start. At the AM that night under palm tree. For the first time I came alive when summer died. I So you might remember a while ago, I moved these speakers from my office upstairs to the TV setup downstairs. And I absolutely love these speakers. They're, I think, by far the most clear and just like crisp sounding speakers I've ever used. But believe it or not, even though they still look really clean and new, these are actually 8 years old. I think I got them back when I was maybe a sophomore in high school? Is that 8 years ago? Holy shit, okay, that is 8 years ago. 2016, I was a sophomore in high school. So yeah, I've had these for 8 full years now, and they have served me super, super well. So well, in fact, that I decided to replace them with these bad boys right here, which are literally just the updated and a little bit larger version of them from the same brand called Kanto. I honestly cannot recommend these speakers enough. This is not sponsored at all. I just absolutely love these speakers. So I'm gonna be replacing these ones right here for these bigger ones that have a little bit more power, a little bit more bass. I also actually got them in this smaller size. So these are, I think, called the YU2. The big ones I got are called the YU6, but I'm gonna be using these ones actually at my desk setup because I do actually need a good pair of speakers to be able to edit my videos and really hear the audio pretty well, and I'm gonna be setting these ones up too. It sounds insane. The bass like makes your heart thump.
사랑한다고 말해줬다면 믿어줄 수 있겠니? 넌 오직 상처만 받고 있었지. 미안해 baby. 네가 없는 현실 너무나도 비참해. There's no one 너 같은 너만 고통받고 있는 게 아니야. 나도 아파 yeah baby. A-E-I-O-U means I love you and nothing else will do. Baby I owe you, oh yes I do. An explanation baby yeah. 질투한다고 바뀌지 않아. 우리의 떠나간 사랑. 너는 날 사랑해준 적 있었니? 말해줘 baby. 네가 없더라도 난 잘 살고 있다고.
Do you want to also bring the small one so we can try potting this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones are good. So it's been a while since the last time I've just talked to you guys about life updates, and there are a lot of exciting things happening in my life right now that I wanted to share. So I figured I'd just turn the camera on and have my little yap session with you guys while me and my girlfriend repot some of these plants. All right, so first one up, we got this plant, which as you can tell, it's in a very honestly boring pot with the sticker still attached. I got this really cool cork looking one. Okay, so while we're doing that, let's talk about some life updates. First big announcement is that we are going to Korea in a few days. Funnily enough, even though my girlfriend is half white and half Mexican, she is actually the one that's introduced me to a lot of Asian culture, including K-pop and things like anime. And so I think this is gonna be a really fun trip for both of us. And obviously I'm gonna be recording our entire trip. And so look forward to that.
Okay, grab some of that. I don't really like touching the soil. Oh, the roots are crazy.
Wait, okay, no, literally just put that in now.
Wait, put the roots in first. Tuck all the roots in.
Last time I repotted on a plant on this channel, it was the Monstera in that smaller pot. And you guys really came at me in the comments saying that I was potting it into a pot that was too big. So let it be known that there's a lot of extra space under this pot, even though it looks like it was a little bit of a squeeze. First plant repotted. I think it looks really good in this cork pot, and it's also really light. Okay, so now that that's done, life update number 2 is that now that my girlfriend's graduated, we're gonna be moving in together. Some of you guys might know this and some of you might not, but for the past 2 years after I graduated college, I've actually been living with one other housemate. We went to college together and he's a software engineer. We decided that it was finally time to part ways, sadly, and he's gonna be living by himself and I will be moving in with my girlfriend. I wanna totally acknowledge that we're a pretty young couple and so it obviously is a pretty bold move to be moving in together, but we've been dating for over 3 years now and so we really felt like this was sort of the next step. And then sort of in line with that, she actually will not be moving in with me here, and that is because our biggest update is that we are actually moving. So just this morning, we received the lease for our new place that we'll be moving to. We actually toured a good amount of places in San Francisco, and I'll be sure to include some clips about some of the places that we did tour. While we did like some of them, I feel like we had a lot of personal requirements that not a lot of places checked boxes off of, being number 1, it has to have really great natural light. Obviously, you guys know that my apartment, one of the favorite things I like about it is, of course, the big windows, but especially the amazing light that they bring in. Number 2 was that it was not necessarily like a loft, but that it felt sort of pretty spacious in terms of the main living space.
High ceilings.
High ceilings, yeah. We really got used to sort of the lofted ceilings of our current apartment. And obviously those are really, really tall. And so definitely doesn't necessarily mean that we were looking for something that again had like 20-foot windows. But we definitely did want to sort of enjoy the sort of open airiness of an open plan living space. The third thing was that it still feels sort of really homey. I think one of the great things about our place is that even though it is in sort of the industrial loft style, it doesn't really feel like it's too brutalist or too cold in nature. I really like my space to feel very sort of cozy and zen and very grounded as opposed to sort of industrial, which is also really cool, but just not my personal style. And then sort of in line with that was also specifically the color of the wood flooring. We toured some places that had really amazing windows or really amazing lighting, but they were either like really cold concrete floors or there was a really like dark shade of walnut, or it was like my personal least favorite, which is I would call the millennial gray wood flooring. And the last few things were that we wanted an outdoor space. Even though we have these really big windows, we don't have an outdoor space right now. And so it would be really nice for us to just sort of have an outdoor space where we can just relax and sort of, you know, watch the sunset or reconnect with nature a little bit.
Touch some grass.
Touch some grass, literally. And then also the bathrooms. So you guys noticed probably I haven't barely ever shown my bathrooms on this channel or on my social media. And that's because they're like very cramped, very small and sort of poorly lit. Even though it's not like the biggest deal in the world, it's definitely a luxury to have sort of a nicer bathroom. I think especially with us moving in together, we really, really wanted to have a space that we could, you know, get ready together, brush our teeth together. Because right now in our bathroom, if one of us is brushing our teeth, the other one literally has like zero space to move around or like get dressed or anything. Well, this one should go in a bigger one.
But I do like it.
I kind of like that one the most.
You think this would be cutest with that?
So yeah, all 4 of those things I think were pretty hard to find, especially in an apartment in San Francisco. So we actually decided to, surprise, surprise, move to a home in the Bay Area. I'm not gonna disclose where yet, just for, you know, privacy and safety reasons, but we're gonna be living definitely a little bit more remote and a little bit more of a peaceful, non-city life. Even though I do love living in the city, I don't necessarily see myself as sort of a long-term city person. And honestly, even though—
City boys.
I don't really take advantage, I realized, of a lot of the things of living in a city because I don't think I'm really a busy city sort of—
city boy.
A city boy. I'm really excited to have sort of a more quiet, laid back, quaint life, if you will, while obviously still being in pretty close proximity to San Francisco. I think part of an adult is also just being able to plan things more accordingly, and so I guess I will also be practicing my skills of actually planning ahead of time, you know, making time to hang out with friends on certain days, organizing schedules and all of that. I'm gonna be sharing my entire moving process through YouTube, through social media, so be sure to stay tuned. I think that I have had such an amazing time in this apartment. Obviously, I was extremely blessed to be able to live here, both as someone who just graduated college and even now as a content creator. I really owe a lot to this apartment, if not like everything to it, for really kind of getting me started in this content creation journey, for, you know, relaxing me during my previously stressful days at work when I was working in consulting, for, you know, making memories with my girlfriend, with my roommate, with my cat. And so it really feels honestly a little bit sad to be leaving here. I think I grew really attached to this space, but at the same time, I think with this new house, I'm so excited to decorate it and really live the life that I think I see myself really enjoying even more, while at the same time continuing to create just as much content, and honestly a lot of new exciting content in this new space. So thank you guys so much for supporting, obviously, this channel, supporting my social media if you follow me there. Obviously, us moving into a house at a relatively young age. And I want to clarify, I'm not buying the house. I definitely am not in a position to be buying a house. We're just going to be renting the house similarly to how I'm renting this apartment right now. But yeah, okay. Plant number 2, potted. This one's really cool because it's sort of like a, I don't know, like texture, speckled texture
sand looking.
Yeah. So thank you guys again. And I am super excited for what's in store for me and for this channel.